The path to sainthood. Saints aren't born saints. What makes them saints is that no matter what obstacles they face, they rely on God. They never give up and they keep trying to grow in holiness. The word saint means holy. To improve a skill or learn a subject, you need to study, learn good techniques, and practice. To grow into your spiritual gifts, to become a saint, you need to practice what Jesus taught, pray, and receive help from the Holy Spirit. The Church officially recognizes some specific saints who lived lives of great faith and holiness. These people are canonized, meaning they are honored and declared a saint. The process begins when communities bring forward the names of people whom they believe should be elevated on the path to sainthood. Remember, too, that no one becomes a saint on their own. Holiness comes from God, and we give it back to the world. So we'll read about the canonization process, and specifically about the journey of Brother Andre Bessette, who lived from 1845 to 1937. Brother Andre Bessette came from humble beginnings. He had very little education and his health was always poor, but he had strong faith from a young age. He was accepted as a brother of the Congregation of the Holy Cross and given the job of doorman. The community knew and loved him for his welcoming spirit and his devotion to helping the sick. Believers in the holiness of the person's life petition for the person's case. 5 years after the person dies, the case is opened and considered. The person is called servant of God. People who had been touched by his charity, humility, and prayers gave written reports to the Archbishop of Montreal and asked him to consider Brother Andre a candidate for sainthood. The petition was delivered to Rome in 1950 and was approved in 1960. Next, Vatican officials agree that this was a life of heroic virtue, and the person is called venerable. All his life, Brother Andre worked hard without complaining at the most humble tasks. He often said, "To serve is sweeter than to be served." He gave tirelessly of his time to pray with people and ask Saint Joseph for their healing. In 1978, Pope Paul VI approved the decree on his virtuous life, and he became Venerable Andre Bessette. The next step in becoming a saint. The Church agrees that a miracle, such as a medical cure that science cannot explain, is associated with the person. The Pope reviews the case. If he agrees, the person is beatified and is called blessed. Since only God works miracles, they indicate that God approves and the candidate is with God. A man with severe liver cancer was cured after his family asked for Venerable Andre's intercession. Pope John Paul II attributed this to Andre and beatified him in 1982, and he became Blessed Andre Bessette. The last step. If there is further evidence of miracles, the Pope may review the case and canonize the person, who is then called saint. Testimonies of miracles credited to Blessed Andre continued to be reported to the Vatican in Rome. A boy whom doctors expected to die from a head injury was cured after the family prayed to Blessed Andre. The congregation and Pope Benedict XVI attributed this miracle to Blessed Andre. He was canonized in 2010, 60 years after the petition had been sent to Rome, and he became Saint Andre Bessette.